Good evening. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
His Majesty the King praised Bahrain's development strides. India scrapped COVID PCR testing for vaccinated travelers. FIFA announced Qatar World Cup 2022 groups end schedule. Saudi Riyal 10,000 fine for Umrah permit violators.
His Majesty the King praised Bahrain's development strides. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received Al Sakir Palace in the presence of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. His Majesty the King's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Supreme Council for Youth and Sports First Deputy Chairman, General Sports Authority Chairman and BOC President, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and Royal Court Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, Council of Representatives Speaker, Shura Council Chairman, their deputies, His Majesty the King's advisors, Supreme Judicial Council Vice Chairman, and Court of Cassation President, Constitutional Court President, the Public Prosecutor, the SCIA President, and members and Sunni Endowments Council Chairman, who greeted His Majesty the King. They congratulated His Majesty the King on the advent of the holy month of Ramadan, wishing him good health, happiness, and long life, and the Kingdom of Bahrain and its loyal people further security, stability, progress, and prosperity under his wise leadership. His Majesty the King exchanged congratulations with them and thanked them for their noble feelings, wishing the Kingdom of Bahrain and its loyal people further progress and prosperity. Industry Minister reviewed Bahrain-US economic activities. Industry, Commerce and Tourism Minister Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani received the newly appointed US Ambassador to Bahrain, Stephen Bunty. The meeting reviewed Bahraini-US relations. The minister wished the ambassador success in his new post. Al Zayani affirmed Bahrain's aspiration to intensify cooperation with the United States of America for the benefit of the two countries. He pointed to the importance of mutual visits and joint economic activities in strengthening bilateral relations and pushing them to advanced levels. The Prime Minister's Fellowship Program concludes intensive leadership training for its 7th intake. The Prime Minister's Fellowship Program today concluded an intensive training course for its 7th intake, held remotely. The intensive course, held in collaboration with international academic professionals, included training modules on leadership skills and effective communication. The course is designed to improve the skills of young government leaders and enhance their understanding of the Kingdom's comprehensive development goals. The fellowship is a competitive, challenging, year-long training program that develops the skills of Bahrainis working in the public sector through access and exposure to decision makers and the decision-making process. Bahrain's real GDP grows 4.3% in quarter 4, says a report. Bahrain's GDP grew by 4.29% at real prices and 18.44% at current prices in the Q4 of 2021, according to National Accounts estimates issued by the Information and E-Government Authority. The report, which shows the growth of both the oil and non-oil sectors, revealed that the oil sector grew by 4.67% at constant prices and 64.15% at current prices, reflecting the rise in fuel prices. The non-oil sector recorded a growth of 4.21% at constant prices and 12.99% at current prices from Q4 of last year, stated the IGA report. The report showed recovery in other government services, financial projects, trade activity, manufacturing, government and private health services in varying proportions, while comparing the fourth quarter with the one from the previous year, it added. Bahrain integrated 134 students with special needs in 24 government schools. Bahrain has the right to be proud of its pioneering humanitarian experience in integrating students with special needs in government schools, including those with autism. In 2010, Bahrain had only 11 special needs students in 3 schools. In 2022, that number has risen to 134. Bahrain boards to list 5 state companies this year. The public will be offered shareholding in 5 government-run companies this year, according to Sheikh Khalifa bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, the top official of Bahrain boards. Sheikh Khalifa said this during the just concluded Arab Federation of Capital Markets annual conference hosted by Bahrain. Reconstruction project of Sitra Bridge first phase completed. The first phase of work on an almost 1 million reconstruction project on Bridge 17 at Al Saad Avenue near Bandar Al Dar in Sitra has been completed. The project, designed as 2 bridges, will replace the current bridge with another with 2 lanes in either direction, plus an emergency lane to enhance traffic movement and boost safety levels. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
India scrapped COVID PCR testing for vaccinated travelers. India has scrapped PCR tests for fully vaccinated passengers travelling to India. Guests who have completed the full vaccination schedule of both doses from the list of recognized countries on reciprocity basis are exempted from RT-PCR testing prior to departure for travel to India. Travellers who fail to comply with the rules and regulations will be denied boarding. Children under 5 years of age are exempted from both pre- and post-arrival testing. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Ministry of Health in association with Al Hilal Multi-Speciality Medical Center, East Rifa, conducted medical camp in Royal Gulf Club, Bahrain. Rifa Views report.
Ministry of Health in association with Al Hilal Multi-Speciality Medical Center, East Rifa, organized a medical camp. Blood sugar and blood pressure checkups are conducted as part of the medical camp. Free doctor consultation coupons were distributed for dermatology, internal medicine, dental and ortho. Many comprehensive health checkup coupons were also provided. Around 100 people participated in the camp and more than 40 of them have done the tests.
Saudi Riyal 10,000 fine for Umrah permit violators. Anyone caught coming to perform Umrah without having a permit will be fined. Saudi Riyal 10,000, the public security warned on Saturday. The public security said that the permits of pilgrims would be checked in the Tawaklana application by matching it with the national identity, residence, passport number or border number, in addition to comparing it with the date specified for performing the Umrah that was chosen in the permit. The ministry has restricted the minimum age for issuing permits to perform Umrah and pray at Al Rawda Sharifa to be limited only to children aged 5 and over. Saudi allowed personal registration of E-Umrah visa. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Hajj and Umrah announced the Umrah program under which individual pilgrims from abroad can register for getting issued Umrah visa. They need not apply through any foreign Umrah service agents. The application for issuing Umrah visas shall be submitted through the approved electronic platforms for Umrah services for individuals coming from outside the kingdom. They are doing registration through one of the approved electronic platforms for Umrah services for individuals. The Umrah program shall include housing and transportation services, in addition to completing all the requirements for electronic visa, and so that the pilgrim can print the visa copy directly. Saudi Arabia arrested 14,693 illegals in a week. Around 14,693 violators of residency and labor laws and border security regulations have been arrested in various regions of the kingdom within a week. Those arrested included 9,271 violators of the residency laws, about 3,651 violators of the border security regulations, and more than 1,771 violators of the labor law. FIFA announced Qatar World Cup 2022 groups and schedule. FIFA unveiled the groups for the much-awaited World Cup 2022 at a glittering draw headlined by some of the greatest names of the game and the entertainment industry, with the US facing England and Iran in Group B at the World Cup finals, while Spain will take on Germany in a clash of former winners in Group E. As the 233-day countdown to kickoff begins in Qatar, all the 29 teams can now imagine their journey all the way to the final. The remaining 8 will be fight for the last 3 spots at the playoffs in June, stated FIFA in its statement. For the first time, to optimize specific match details for the benefit and comfort of supporters, teams and the media, and match schedule will be confirmed in due course on FIFA.com after games have been assigned to a stadium and kickoff time for each match day. Nearly 300,000 expats lost jobs in Oman due to ongoing pandemic. 300,000 workers in Oman lost their jobs in 2020 and 2021 because of the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Of those who lost their jobs, a vast majority, around 292,500 people, were expatriates. The pandemic, low demand, economic downturn, and other reasons led to the exit of some huge numbers of workers from their jobs. Of them, approximately 7,500 are Omanis. WHO warns of new COVID-19 mutant XE. A new COVID mutant XE has been found in the UK. The World Health Organization has said in its latest report, it noted that it may be more transmissible than the BA.2 sublineage of COVID-19. XE is a recombinant of Omicron BA.1 and BA.2 sublineage of COVID-19. UK hits record COVID-19 levels, nearly 5 million infected. The prevalence of COVID-19 in the UK has reached record levels, with about 1 in 13 people estimated to be infected with the virus in the past week, according to the latest figures from Britain's official statistics agency. According to the Associated Press, some 4.9 million people were estimated to have the coronavirus in this week, ending March 26, up from 4.3 million recorded in the previous week, the Office for National Statistics said Friday. The latest surge is driven by the more transmissible Omicron variant BA.2, which is the dominant variant across the UK. Hospitalizations and death rates are again rising, although the number of people dying with COVID-19 is still relatively low compared with earlier this year. Nonetheless, the latest estimates suggest that the steep climb in new infections since late February, when British Prime Minister Boris Johnson scrapped all remaining coronavirus restrictions in England, has continued well into March. NASA moon rocket's last test before launch started off. NASA kicked off a critical countdown test Friday for its new moon rocket, a 30-story behemoth that could make its first lunar test flight by summer, Associated Press reported. The two-day demonstration, the final major milestone before liftoff to the moon, will culminate Sunday as teams load nearly 1 million gallons of super-cooled fuel into the rocket on the pad. The countdown, which halts at the 9-second mark before engines ignite. NASA plans to set a launch date after analyzing the results of the dress rehearsal for the Space Launch System rocket for shot. Officials have indicated the rocket could blast off as early as June, sending the attached Orion crew capsule hurtling towards the moon. The capsule will spend at least a month in space before returning to Earth. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.